আৰু বৰ্তমান সময়ত মত বিনিময় অব্যাহত আছে আমি পুনে পুনে আপোনালোকক এই অনুষ্ঠানৰ মাজলৈ লৈ গৈছো
is because of such inspirational story that they hear in their lifetime once or twice. They really get fascinated. I tell you one story, possibly many of the students may not understand because they are maybe in schools or sometimes in the early colleges. When I was a student, I went to Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, for my master's program. That day, that college, I was studying a subject called dynamics subject. Okay, let it be. But then there was one equation, mathematical equation. It's a big equation. That equation is called Lagrange's theorem. I don't know, some Lagrange in Europe found out this theorem. So it says this theorem, if you use, I can convert energy to vector space. Energy is called scalar. You know scalar? Scalar has a quantity, it has no direction. You know science people know. Vector is having quantity and a direction. So when you are converting one something called scalar, a scalar cannot produce a vector. This is a fundamental. A vector can produce a scalar. So this equation converts energy to space. Energy to space. You understand the importance of this? Energy is an abstract quantity who exists not in physical realm, it exists in non-physical realm. And space is something that exists in physical realm, in dimensions. And a simple mathematical equation, dou by dou x, dy by dou ti, dot minus d by dx. So there is some equation like that. If you use that equation, I can convert energy to vectorial space. This is one understanding of it. But the whole beauty of it is, this equation can be used for anything, solving any problem. Like how, if I take this, if I push it, this goes and stays here. How? I can solve that equation. I can solve how a wave bends and falls down. How it is this shape of the wave? Why it is not any other shape? When I swing a pendulum, why it moves like this? When I heat something, the temperature rises. How the temperature rises? How much temperature will rise? If moon is moving around Earth, I can explain using the same equation. When I launch a rocket, it will go in that orbit or not. I can solve using the same equation. What a phenomenal equation it is. I studied this equation one night, one evening. I heard in the class. Night I went to room, looked at this equation, and actually started crying. You will cry if you understand the significance of that equation and its impact on the transformation of these two ideas called energy, which is an abstract quantity, non-physical. Okay, it's physical in some way, but then vector, a space, everything which is not existing, shunya, converting to become the abstract physical. You look at the spiritual connection between these two. A mathematical equation describing the connectivity between the absolute and the real. It's not very, keeping you a feeling of high knowledge. These are the true knowledges. Tell people like this. It will make them change their track and life sometimes.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions? We have many more. So, shall we take two more?
You'll ask for them first.
We'll have last two questions. Due to time constraint, I request you to kindly keep your question a bit short and direct.
Sir, till today what you have done with a team spirit. So would you like to speak a few words on your team lead experiences?
See, when I joined ISRO, I was very fortunate to be in a team which was mentored by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam was the SLV project director. He just finished that SLV project. He was just leaving to DRDO at that point. And all those people who were part of the SLV3 project, where project was dismantled, they were building PSLV. So the PSLE team was formed, Dr. Srinivasan, Dr. Madhavan Nair and many others who were his deputies came to this project and I joined the same project and they were my bosses. You can understand the influence. Each of them were very accomplished people, but they were mentored by Kalam. I can see Kalam in them because whatever I read about Kalam later I could understand they were each one of them of that type of people. Motivated, very capable in terms of subject knowledge, how to handle big teams, how delegate responsibility, put people at a higher level. So I enjoyed that company of those great people. So naturally, the capability.
আপুনি চাই আছে ND24 সৰ্বশ্ৰেষ্ঠ নহয় সৰ্বোত্তমৰ দৌৰত